Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Luening, Horst Luening, and this is my son Ben. And which time do we have?
It's Whiskey O'Clock. Yeah, there's new merch out on the shop, and or not that
shop
new
on YouTube,
but on YouTube on the Teespring shop. You can see it down below. If you click on the shop, there are a lot of T-shirts. They're quite nice. I'm wearing XL. Yeah, XL is quite large, so they're not small. Usually, I get the T-shirts that are usually a bit smaller. Sometimes I'm XL. Sometimes I'm. Oh, this is XXL, I think. So, yeah, they're normal size, I would say.
Yeah, today we have the best whiskies of the month of March 2020. And we had a wonderful, how it's called. If you have a hunt and all the prey is lying there around.
Yeah.
It's a street or a walk of prey.
Yeah, there are quite many, and even some really good ones didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
So this time was really hard to select, but I think we already had a good February as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we start with your side, as always.
Belvini Portwood, 21 years old. A lovely whiskey. One of the few whiskies with a Portwood.
Mm-hmm.
Portwood is not that common, but it's a lovely whiskey with a lot of fruitiness, also combined with the distillery character of Belvini with that orangeness, goes a bit more into that oaky tone, bittersweetness, but not
it's older,
that bittersweet.
21 years old, so this is quite mature, and unfortunately it's a little bit more expensive, but not that expensive for a 21-year-old. It's still below 200 in most of the countries. So this is affordable, and it's a Portwood finish. So it's the last up to a year. They say they have 2 decades matured, and then up to a 1-year-old finishing period. Yeah, the next one is the Tullibardine, 15 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first regular aged expression of the Tullibardine distillery after the closure or mothballing period, which ended in 2003, 2004. And then they brought out no age statement whiskies, and that one is the first one with an age statement on it, 15 years. So they omitted a 10 or a 12-year-old, and now they come up with a 15-year-old. It's affordable. It's between 50 and 60, so this is good.
It's a really lovely whiskey, and hopefully they do have the casks to supply that all around the year.
Yeah, and the price is so reasonable that you're able to afford it. So
maybe there will be a bit of a run on the Tullibardine. Maybe they will end up running out of it end of year, but probably they'll get more when the stock matures over the years. So yeah, a really lovely whiskey. I was really amazed how he could hit it off with an age statement that well on the first try.
Yeah, next one is the Lefroy, 18 years of age. This one was, quite rare over the years, but I think they stabilized the supply. And it's a lovely, very smoky whiskey, and it's not that smoky as the 10-year-old is, and you know that, but it's became much more mature, and the extreme smokiness moved to a more complexity of phenol tastes. So this is a lovely one, and it's not that stinky as the 10-year-old is, but a lot more complex. So I like that a lot more than the 10-year-old.
The Lefroy, I think the Lefroy are really strong and really rough with all that marine flavor, with all the peatiness. And if you have the younger expressions, they can be so tough that you can, that they're a bit demanding, and only for a few people that really like it rough. And the 18 is one of their older expressions, and therefore, has that roughness combined with the good maturity.
Yeah.
So it's not rough and sharp, but rough and wonderful or round.
And the newer ones since a few years, probably since 10 years, they are now 48% ABV. So that helped that whiskey a lot to give it more intensity. Former times, the older ones had 43%, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, I had alone. The Glenlivet, 15 years old, French oak. This one is a special whiskey in the range of the Glenlivets because it has a maturity and a special cask. Typically, the Glenlivets have sherry cask maturation if they are older and have a typical ex-bourbon, refill bourbon and refill sherry cask maturation when they are younger. And that one has a French oak. And French oak is different from the taste, more aromatic. And I had that whiskey 20 years ago when it came up on the market, and it was so oaky, weird oakiness. And I did like that. And now the newer ones, probably the last 10 years or so, they changed to a much more comfortable Limousin oak taste. So I find that wonderful in contrast to the old one I had in my memory. Yeah, very good.
Yeah. Did I not mention that? The last one, Springbank.
The last one, Springbank, we had that together.
Yeah.
And we definitely had to decide if we take the 15-year-old or the 21-year-old, which were both really extraordinary good. And we decided to have the 15-year-old because it's a more typical Springbank, I would say, because the 21-year-old had a finishing in it, hadn't it?
18-year-old.
We had the 18-year-old and 21-year-old.
I think we had the 18-year-old.
The 18-year-old. Yeah,
over
the
there.
18-year-old.
Still, the 18. It was a really, 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 really close race. So
probably we took the cheaper one so that you can afford it.
Yeah, there could have been the 18-year-old just on the cask here because it was just that good. But the 15-year-old just also had a bit of a price advantage as well. So in the end, when you say, oh, they're quite similar, then you go for the one you don't have to pay that much for. But it's a lovely, wonderful, very, very, very traditional and old style whiskey from Campbelltown. You don't see many whiskeys from Campbelltown nowadays.
Yeah, that's it.
So really, really nice selection of whiskeys. Have a look around. These are all really, really great whiskeys. It's just a month that we just had great whiskeys. So if you see one of these whiskeys, they're all for a premium luxury type of connoisseur. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, then please feel free to give us a thumbs up. Have a look in our Teespring shop. There are many more t-shirts like that in there to find your style of wording there. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.